Hello everybody. Thank you for joining me along with the flies. I don't know if you remember this bowl that you saw me squidge first of all with the pieces of wood to do 4 sides, and then more latterly with my little paddler here doing the other 4 sides, to finally get this octagonal shape. It's not a very sort of like an engineer's octagonal shape. It's just a slightly subtle. I'm actually in the process of trimming the foot, and so just come down on the wheel head with me and we'll see what gives, as it were. In fact, I've just had an idea. I'll just recenter this one up. Incidentally, when you've made a bowl and you're ready to trim, just before you come to put it on the wheel and to center him up, just have a cursory feel for the thickness, especially around the base where you're going to be trimming it. It doesn't do any harm to do that, and it gives you just an idea of how much material there is there to be trimmed. Well, as you can see, I've already made a bit of a start on this one, paring away the clay here on the side. What I actually, perhaps what I will do is actually just take out the clay here in the center. Finger pressing down, okay? Even though I'm doing the center, I don't cut out leave that little bit there in the center, so I can still paring away, opening out the center there. What I wanted to do, what I was thinking to do, was to try to reflect something of the hexagonal nature of this piece actually in the foot itself. Let's see, I'm just going to close the pores of the clay here, because they've become very open because of the groggy nature of the clay. So I'm using my scraper, as you can see, to sort of burnish, seal over that rather open texture. So there we are. Right, now what I want to do, all being well, that is, if these flies would get out the light. I want to try and reflect this hexagonal feeling of the no, sorry, incorrect. Octagonal in the foot. So what I'm going to do is I'm just putting some lines in here. Now each one of these lines, of course, is parallel with the facet that is there. So I'm taking a little bit of care just to mark this before I cut it. Sometimes a little bit of preparatory work pays off. The eye is easily deceived, I've come to realise. At least mine is. No, I don't know if you can see that, but I've marked that. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to cut this now. Now if you're going to cut anything in clay, wet your knife first. Never a bad idea. So I'm cutting down, and sometimes when you're doing this kind of thing, it's good to do one on one side and then do the opposite one next. Okay, and then do the ones at 90 degrees to that. I'm cutting this, and then I'm going to, then I'll go over it. Now you may be thinking, oh, that's very clever. Well, let me tell you, this is the first time I've done this in my life. So we'll find out how clever it is, won't we? See if it looks. I'm interested to see if what I'm doing here is going to have some feeling with what I've done down here on the let's just come in for a bit more detail. Never hurts, does it, to have a bit more. There we are. No, I'm trying to get these the facets that I'm doing here on the foot, I'm trying to get them to look as the same as each other as I can. I happen to have a rather handy little very miniature spatula here, which I'm just I don't want it to look too sort of titivated afterwards. I want it to look fresh. That's always a good quality to look for in your work, freshness, vitality, not overworked, you know what I mean? Keep things looking fresh. Clay speaks loudest when it's fresh. There you are. It's a good quotation, just invented it. Clay speaks loudest when it's fresh, freshly worked. So now some of these lines are still appearing there. So my next thought is what am I going to do with the edges here? I'm going to put a very slight bevel on those corners. Break the corners, always a good idea. You don't want sharp, nasty corners. They're an eyesore. So break your corners. Yeah. I think I'll go along with that. I think that's not looking too bad. So, seal. Get this one out of the way. Spain. Right. Remember, always, anything that's gone face down will have ugly flats on it, possibly in odd places. Probably need to just zoom out. Yeah. So just go over your rims either with a leather or with one of these nice sponges. Nice sponge, there's somebody left it. I think it comes from the US. So, well folks, there it is, the bowl that you saw me make, and now you see me finish it. Hexagonal bowl with a hexagonal trimmed foot, trimmed first and then made hexagonal. Okay, why don't you have a go at doing something like that? Okay, Simon Leach here saying, keep practicing, you!